Week 7 of the fall season begins today. On Mondays, we like to catch up with your AD and get the latest on the Mariemont Warriors. Tom Nerl, how you doing this morning?
I'm good, Rob. Thanks for having us again. Another busy week, another long weekend, but we're ready to get back at it after it this week. So getting closer to tournament time.
It is. I'm so glad that we started doing these again, and I think it really helps get you connected with your fans and your parents. And it just you used to do your Nerl's notes, and this is the video version of Nerl's notes, and it's just I think everyone. I just get such great feedback from all the schools.
No, great. Thank you for bringing them back because we get a lot of comment on them too. And then with Nerl's notes, I always had you spell checker like 6 or 7 times, and they still had mistakes going through. And they said, like the tweets too, you spelled my kid's name wrong. Well, it's kind of like the line from Greece, a hickey from Kaneki, misspelling from Nerl is like a Hallmark card. So bad eyes and fat fingers is what you get sometimes, but it's a lot of fun. So thank you as well. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. Yeah,
that's great. Let's go with girls volleyball. They had a nice win against the Cincinnati Trailblazers on Saturday, a 3-0. And then they have looks like 2 matches this week, both league CHL matches, and both at home. So that's great.
It is. They took 3 out of 4 last week, so that was good for them to get back on the left side of the ledger and starting to play well. Just starting to play together. We've been expecting this run. So Sydney Doty, one of our senior strikers, she got her 500th kill on Saturday against the Trailblazers, and Sydney's worked hard and has been a big part of this team, big part of this program for 4 years. So congratulations to her. But Finneytown on Tuesday, Reading on Thursday, both at home. So a big home week for the home fans to come out and see this team. They're really fun to watch, really good volleyball. Those will be some good matches to come see.
Good luck to them this week. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yep.
Let's switch over to the hard court and get girls tennis. Boy, what a season they're having, huh?
Woo. Yes, they are. What are they up to? 18-2, 19-2. Ran their it's the highest pool they've ever been in, the Coaches Classic. Pool B. A lot of times the smaller schools are E and D, and it's no disgrace. It's just they try to line you up competitively, and we're up in Pool B with Division I teams and knocking some Division I teams off last week. Loveland Milford, I believe, was in the mix. Just a tremendous run. Our seniors are doing a great job, but I think Coach said they won either 13 of 17 or 17 of 19 matches in the showcase this weekend. So just a tremendous effort. This is the last week of the regular season for them, and then next week they'll start their tournament up at Mason. So really excited to see what we can get there. We think we can get some kids on to districts, and with a little luck, get them up to state. So that'd be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Did I read that state was moved to Worcester this year?
It is College of Worcester. There's doing some work at the Lindner Center up in Kings Island, and so they can't host the spring, I guess, or can't host the fall. They'll be back in the spring. But it was always such a nice venue there. So many courts with stands, and as a home to ATP, and Worcester's a nice place in the fall, but it's a 3-mile ride up the road, and more and more tournaments being up in the Stark County area. But I'm sure they'll do a nice job, and hopefully the weather's nice, and you get to the state level in a tournament. You don't care where it is, you'll go wherever. So we'll pack our bags, go up there, but we got to take care of business first, and so let's get the girls there and have a good week this week and a good tournament next week, and see what shakes out.
Let's talk about that Coaches Classic just for a second, a little bit. Playing that tougher, the bigger school competition is only going to help them get into tournament time, right?
It does, and Coach Spreen has done a really good job with the schedule this year, and stepping up the schedule, and we've got some pretty good teams on the way in our league as well.
Right.
With Wyoming and Indian Hill, Seven Hills is on the schedule, Country Days on the schedule, so there's good competition in there. And like I said earlier, he plays a number of Division I's in the area. He'll play Loveland, he'll play Turpin, he'll play Milford.
He's got Oak Hills on Tuesday.
Oak Hills, yeah. So, he peppers them in there, and but the girls do the work. Girls have done the
Mhm.
work in the off season. The girls have done the work the last 5 years when you look at it from junior high on up.
Sure.
So, Drake and Malfa and Glassmeyer and Bauer, the whole bunch. I mean, they're just. I don't want to leave anybody out. You got Kuwatch and the rest of them.
Sure.
They've done such a good job and such a good team, and just really, really good to see them come together like that.
Yeah, best of luck to them as this regular season winds down and they get into
Mhm.
tournament play here. Let's head to the pitch, Tom. Let's talk girls soccer.
Yeah.
Um, Looks like tough loss on Wednesday to Madera, 2-1. I'm sure that was a close one.
Yeah, and that's a rivalry game, and so they sting a little bit more. And yeah, but Madera's highly ranked in the state. We're highly ranked in the state.
That
We're
was a
2 and
great
3 in
match.
the city, 3-2 in the city. So I think we were 2 and they were 3, so we'll probably trade places with them this week. But it was a very good match.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got the break. I don't want to say the breaks on the good work because they got to jump on us
Hmm.
on a couple plays that made the difference, and we didn't make a couple plays. But I'm sure we'll see them somewhere again in the postseason. Just the city with Country Day and Madera and us in Seven Hills. It's going to shake out in the tournament draw here in about 2 weeks.
Right.
But a good match, and like we've said this before, they're a young team, a very young team, and so they're growing, they're improving. We're getting our keepers are hitting their stride as well. A 3-2 match to Roger Bacon, I believe, on Saturday. So again, a nice power there. They've got Wyoming this week, and they got Hamilton Baden at home. So we'll jump back in, with the old GCL schools on Saturday. So they continue to get better and getting the experience. But yeah, 2 losses to Madera last week, boys and girls soccer. So we've got some work to do. But we're right there. So we're
Yep.
kind of happy where we are.
Yeah, it sounds like they're building something strong there. That's
We
exciting.
are.
Let's go over to boys soccer. Let's see. Wow, another tough one. To Madera, 2-1 on Tuesday last week.
Yeah. And
Let's
then
see.
Lima Shawnee on Saturday, the defending state champion. And Lima came down here last week and hung 5, or last year and hung 5 on us. And so some of the boys remembered that one and went up there and played them to a draw, a 2-2 draw, and the JV's got a 4-0 win.
Nice.
So yeah, just again with the boys game the other day, against Madera, we get a PK, they get a PK, some funny calls, not so funny calls, whatever. But at the end of the day, Madera made the play. So tip your hat to them. We are, we're building things as well. We're beat up and we're starting to get some of our starters back.
Nice.
And football's the same way, soccer's the same way. Just a lot of injuries right now this year, but we're getting back to full force. And so with Wyoming coming in this week and a trip up to Oakwood on
Oakwood.
Saturday,
Yeah.
it'll be good to get our legs back under us and get these last 3 weeks of the season going, getting some momentum for the tournament and try to get that high tournament seed again.
Perfect. Sounds great. Good luck to them this week. Let's switch over to the Lynx. Let's go girls first. Looks
Yeah.
like they start CHL this week.
Well, they have both. They have the sectional out at the Grizzly tomorrow, and then Thursday they will have the CHL out Miami Whitewater, which we're teaming up with the SWAC on that one. So that'll
That's right.
probably
That's
have a little
great.
different look to it, but it'll be fun. Throw some extra golfers in with it that week. But the girls have been having a great run, and it looks like they're peaking at the right time. So a number of good wins here, but they'll be rolling out of here at 7 a.m. on Tuesday morning to go to the Grizzly. They played well last year, and then hopefully they're at Heatherwood for the districts the following week. So
Good
big
luck.
week for them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Boys, looks like they had CHLs last week. How'd they do?
A little rough time on the links, and so I think Carter McGay, he was fine. I think Will Stevens was fine, and we're missing Drew Seichter. He still has a bad shoulder from an injury out of Taylor in soccer, but he should be back this week, and the rest of the squad. So getting them out on the mill course on Wednesday.
Right.
Hopefully the rain stays away, but it's time to just. They played the CHL in the middle last week, so hopefully they got it out of their system. The rest of the team head out of their system and get to the mill and have a good week and end this thing strong.
Mill's a tough course.
The mill is I love that course.
Yeah.
It is a tough course,
Challenging.
it's a beautiful course, and
Yeah.
yeah, and they put them all the way back,
Did
for
they?
these tournaments. Yeah, so they're it's not for the faint of heart out
No
there.
doubt.
But it's a good course to walk and watch as well. The county does such a great job with all
Yeah.
their courses. Maybe I
Yeah.
can speak on.
Perfect.
Fine.
Let's switch over. Best of luck to them as their season
Great.
it gets right into tournament play, and good luck to them
Yes.
on that. Let's get
Thank
to
you.
the gridiron. Sounds like we made the trip over to Taylor. It was a good game, a little short on some players, and 21-18. It sounds like a good game, but a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, we had a lot of turnovers. So, after a while, you have to start shooting off fingers because you shoot all your toes off. And yeah, it's just self-inflicted things like that. But own Betcher at quarterback this week again. His second start with Charlie being out injured, and played well. We had a number of turnovers. Taylor's a good team. I mean, they're aggressive. They're big, and they come after you. And so we scored, they scored, went back. I'm sure it was an exciting game if you were a fan, not so much if you're on staff.
Sure.
And a heartbreaker. We're driving for the go-ahead win there in the last minute, and then just a miscommunication on a pass, and so Taylor picks it off and seals a win. But we've got our work cut out in a big rivalry game this week with Madera. They had a tough one with Indian Hill last week, so we would like to get healthy against Madera. Like we said about soccer, it's not Ohio State, Michigan proportion, but I know they circle us.
For you guys, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, they circle us and we circle them,
No
and
doubt.
there'll be a lot of emotion, just a lot of enthusiasm for that game. So, but when these two teams get up, it's a lot of fun. So we'll get on the road up there and see if we can get some magic this weekend. Get right back in the middle of the playoff hunt.
Tom, one of the things I've noticed this year, looking at video and pictures of high school football games on Friday night, is how crowded the stands are. Are you seeing that? Because the fans have come back. I saw pictures at Madera on both sides of the stands. It was packed for Indian Hill at Madera. It's just, are you seeing that as well? It just seems like the fans have come back in droves.
We are. Yeah, last year was a good year. But we're seeing that with ticket sales as well. I mean, Madera Indian Hill was a humongous crowd, and talking to their athletic director up there and some of the adjustments he had to make on game day. We've had great crowds here, especially opening two football games. Our soccer games, our boys soccer game last week with Madera, a great crowd. We've had some girls soccer games along here with high gates as well. And
Tom, do you think hometown tickets and the weather, and competition's just really good? You think those are kind of the recipe that's driving that?
The league is really balanced this year, and we play a good schedule. Hometown doesn't get all the credit because what we're seeing since our state legislature blessed us with a requirement of having to go back to cash sales with ticket sales, we're starting to see those things bounce out. Beginning of the season, it was 20%, cash sales, and now we're creeping up to 50-60%. So
wow.
I think people are going to do what they do, and I don't think the service fee keeps them away, but it's easy to get in and get out. The weather, like you said, has been phenomenal.
Yes.
Another great week last week. You come out to these games, you got shorts and a sweatshirt on, high 60s, and when you kick off in the evening, just great weather. And some of these venues, as you go out, the ride to Taylor, our stadium, Madera, Indian Hill, Wyoming, all beautiful venues. As you get out, I know people don't come out and say, let's go to Mariemont. It's a beautiful stadium. No, it's a good game. And like you said, competition has been great. And the kids are responding, and, even indoors with volleyball, they're coming out. So
awesome.
People excited to see their kids play again. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Let's wrap up this week's show with cross country, Tom.
Yeah.
Princeton Invitational this last Saturday, and they get to run under the lights this weekend. So it's a fun time for cross country.
Yeah, it is, and I have not seen the boys' results yet. I know the big three at Princeton. I think we were the highest ranked non-Division I school at Princeton this week. So,
Fantastic.
yeah, Buck Maverdoglu and McIntosh leading the way, and we've got the rest of the cast running as well. Those are the three that stood out. But we got Erickson and we got Fonstock on the boys' side, running well. So, guys are just running well, and you watch them leave campus every day, and great running weather for them. Just not taking the pounding in the high 80s and 90s, and then they get on these Saturday mornings with with the temperatures that we've been talking about,
Right.
starting off high 50s. The runners love that weather. So Centerville's a fun meet. It'll be a big meet, and it's under the lights, and so they have the portable lighting throughout the course. It starts later in the day on Saturday, and it's always a fun
I'm sure the
gathering.
kids just love that.
They do. Between that one, Muller does a primetime one to start the season. It's just a different part of the routine, and the crowds are bigger, because you're not running into the interference with the other sports, and so. But it is up in Centerville, so they'll spend an hour on the bus and get up there. But good luck to them this week, and as they continue a really good season for them as well.
Yeah, that's great, Tom. Well, listen, as
Yeah.
always, thanks for the time. Best of luck to all your Warriors this week. Looks like it's going to be a busy week. I think maybe rain late Tuesday, Wednesday, but I think that's it. Then it's supposed to get bigger.
I
So
think the golfers might get a little wet out there Wednesday, but then the girls at Wyoming, you'll have a crew there at Wyoming on ESP Media covering the girls game. So thanks for doing that. It's always fun to be on the air. And thanks for you guys covering us this way, covering us with everything on our website and then those games. We appreciate everything that you and your staff does. So
thanks,
thank
Tom.
you.
Well, best of luck to everybody. Have a great week, and we'll touch base this time next week.
Sounds good. Thanks,
Thank
Rob.
you, Tom.
Good
Have
week.
a good week.
All right.
Bye.
Bye now.